So today, the business of hair. I let you guys in a little secret. I love hair. I love black hair in particular. I love the black hair industry. If you've heard me talk before, you know I always bring it up. I think it's just one of the ways that we have in the past. We've let ourselves down as a community. We've done some great things, but then for the innovation and for the things that we have done with hair in terms of, kind of just influencing the hair industry, I want us to have a lot more ownership of our businesses. I want us to have a lot more ownership of our talent. And so that's why we decided today to do the business of hair, because it is a personal, it's a personal favorite of mine. And I am so chuffed, so thankful that we have some of the best people in the game today who have, huge followings, amazing businesses. So thank you, Hannah and Marvin, for joining us and agreeing to kind of share your secrets. So I'm not gonna introduce you because I want you to be able to introduce yourselves. I'll be giving the regular bio, but I'm gonna start with Hannah because Hannah's ready. You're ready. You're ready. Hannah, just give us a little background and let us know. Like, tell us about yourself.
Okay, I'm 27.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I haven't planned anything, by the way. I'm just going off nothing.
No, we're just gonna chat. We're just gonna chat. Look, I have my juice. My gin and tonic.
Okay.
We're chatting. It's over drinks, but drinks with like a lot of people.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm 27 and I am a hairdresser, and I do like to do hair. That's all I can say right now. That's all I know.
Okay, and so how long have you been doing hair?
Okay, so I believe that I discovered my passion for hair when I was 10 years old. So I just started to do my sister's hair, Barbie's hair, and so on and so forth. And then in secondary school, I was obviously the girl that just used to do hair in our lessons, in our free time. And in about sixth form, I started to make money off doing hair. And then in uni, after uni, I decided to turn it into a business because I really enjoyed doing it so much. So I would say I've been doing hair for about 10 years, but only properly since I opened the business, which was like 5 years ago.
And so can you tell us a bit more about the business when you say you've opened up the business?
So after leaving uni, I put money together, saved money, and opened up a hair salon. And then 2 years after, we opened up a second hair salon. So that's where I am.
See, I love the way you just kind of glide that in there. So I just want to let the audience members know, if you guys don't know, opening up a salon and keeping a salon open is not exactly easy in this market, especially in, the economic times that we were going through at this time. So for you to not just say that you've opened up one salon, but two, I just want to give you the props that are due, because I know you're just trying to gloss over that, but to have two salons, and later on we're going to talk about doing hair versus managing a salon, because it's very different, right?
Very different. Good topic.
Yeah, because a lot of people love doing hair, but then they realize, wait a minute, you go into the salon business and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not touching anyone's hair anymore. I'm actually managing people and managing a business and doing accounts and marketing and stuff rather than doing hair, which I really love. So I want to get into that later on in terms of the difference between the business of hair and doing hair. Marvin! Hi, Marvin. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself, please, Marvin?
Yeah, I've been doing hair since I was 13. I weren't really the most academic child. I kind of found my passion in hair I'd say by accident, really. My little sister's hair started to fall out, and me and my little sister were quite close, so I was like just very protected of like her hair falling out, and I thought, let me try and learn how to like help her. She was a really good person for me to practice on. By the time I turned about 16, 17, I started building up a client base where I didn't really, like I said, I wasn't very academic, so I wasn't really trying to go to college, even though I wanted to. But my clients, it was kind of I make money now, try and start a business, or do I go to school? And I thought to myself, I'll just start the business and see what I can do. And I've just been doing hair ever since. I'm 28 now, so it's been a while.
Yeah, that's like 15 years, and you're not even 30 yet.
No.
Pretty much. Damn.
Yeah.
You still do your sister's hair?
Well, she's kind of taught herself now, so I probably do her hair like once a year.
No, but that is, and we want to get into that as well in terms of the preparation for doing hair. Like, did you just, practice, or did you take any courses, those kinds of things? And what can people do to improve themselves and their craft and stuff like that? So when you say that, what's your business right now? Tell me exactly what your business is right now.
Hairdresser, and I also own a hair company. They're very two different businesses, and it's really hard when you're trying to establish yourself as a hairdresser and a successful business at the same time. So, like with the other two ladies having two salons, I definitely give them their props because it's not easy at all. And with Hannah being a hairdresser as well, she definitely knows. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's a struggle, but you stick at it and you keep doing it. You have to keep doing it.
And so let's pretend all the people on the line have a lot of money that they want to spend at your company. Can you tell me more about what the hair company is? I'm going to force you guys to market yourselves.
My hair company is a hair extension line. We sell everything from straight to textured hair, clip-ins, bonds, tracks. We sell everything hair-based, basically. By hopefully next year, we will also have a product line. So if you can come and basically get anything hair related, hair extension related at Hair by Him UK.
Brilliant, because I love me some extensions. I was like, I'm not even gonna. I don't even front with people. I was like, I change my hair on a daily basis, dramatically. Yeah, this morning it was straight, and I was like, oh God, today. So I later on in the notes as well for the show, then we'll make sure that we get all of your URLs so that we can promote your stuff so that people can come and see you and come visit you and then also buy from your store. So let's make sure that we keep on that. And then Rita, thank you for joining us. You look fantastic. I can't look. Did you really? You were hiding?
No, literally, I've been so busy all day. I was in my headscarf. I was so chilled. I thought it was a phone. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's fine.
I know. You know what? I think we'll have to make sure that we tell people that it is actually their faces. Some of the feedback before you start, some of the feedback that we've gotten is that people have never been part of a webinar that have had 4 or 3 black faces on their screen. Like, you just don't see that. And that's some of the, and you think about it, you don't, do you? And and we're not talking about, we're not complaining about, what being black is about. We're not complaining about, what kind of the hard times that we're going through. We're not talking about diversity. We're just talking about our business. And so that's why it's so valuable for your faces to be seen. Because unfortunately that's where, that's the world that we live in, where there are stereotypes according to our skin. So I'm going to make sure that we send that instruction out, because it's so important when people feedback and little girls are like, hey, I've never seen 4 black people on screen before on my computer. I'm just like, wow, damn. But that's the way we live. So yes, so that's how we insist that we see your face. But you look beautiful, and your hair looks fantastic. It's really nice when you see hairdressers with nice hair. Can we talk about that? I won't. Yes. So yes, Rita, tell us all about yourself.
I guess for me, my story is slightly different because I'm not a hairdresser. So I didn't start off doing hair. I feel like I can't hear myself. Yeah, I didn't start off doing hair. I studied acting, and it was only through acting being so slow that it felt like I had to do something else as well. My mum started the salon 16 years ago, and I originally had absolutely no interest in it. I went to New York. I was studying to be an actress. I had no interest in business. Like, I wasn't into it at all. And it was only probably about a year after getting back from New York I would get an audition, not book it, and I'll be so sad and so upset. And my dad was like, listen, you need to be doing something else to keep yourself active. And I still had no interest in the salon. Then one of my good friends, she started working at the salon, and she started to make it look really cool. Like, it started to be a bit fun. She did a little photo shoot, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe this salon thing's not too bad. So I just started to assist her, really. You know, I just started helping out here and there, going for auditions and stuff like that. And I would say probably a year into doing that, suddenly I started to have a strong vision for the salon. Me and the other girls in the salon, I started to kind of think, hold on a second, I don't know any other salons that I would want to go to, so why don't we kind of make Radiant into something? Let's create something. And eventually, everything I learned through training to be an actress, I then started to bring that into the salon. And I just started to love hair more and more. And I guess that's how I started with Radiant, and just building it up, building it up, building it up. And now I just have this strong vision to make a great salon. So that's kind of on my side how it started.
So do you actually do hair, or is it more about the business of the salon?
I do not do hair at all. I can barely do my own hair. Like, it's actually embarrassing. And every time I try, the girls say, you just look awkward. Like, if I try and do anything, I can't even curl my own hair. Like, I just have no interest in it. But I understand the business of hair, and I make it my business to understand every single thing about hair. So I don't sit back and say, oh, you guys are doing training. Oh, yeah, you guys do hair. I make sure I understand it. I understand what treatments, I understand what the client needs, and I focus on the business side, because as like you guys are saying, like, being a hairdresser is not easy at all, and there's so many things to think about. So I think about the business aspect. Okay, what can we do next? How can we get bigger? What can we do to entice our clients? And I just focus on that side, and I let the girls do the hairdressing stuff and just be amazing at that. So we kind of separate the roles.
Damn. So, wow. So all of you guys are very, very different, but you guys have all started your business. And one of the questions that we received, let me see, do I have their names? Okay, so Latara, thank you so much, Latara, for your question. Latara asks, well, how did you guys start your businesses then? So how did you, how did you get the money to invest in that first salon, or how did you get that money to invest in terms of the hair distribution or your hair product distribution? How do you start off? So you all had the love for the hair, you guys all had passion, you all had the background, but how did you actually, kind of start with the fun as well? Anyone want to? Any of you guys? It's a big party.
I kind of say for me, it was more of a thing where, because I always had clients, I just have to, saving thing, you got to take some out and put it away and do all of that. And saving's not really like my forte, but for me to really take my business serious, I know I had to get that money together. So I started working all the time. At the time, I was doing like 8-9 clients a day. And it's like silly little things like that. Sunday wouldn't mean anything to me, and it's like things like that. And sometimes you really have to sacrifice to make sure you got the coins to go and do what you need to go and do. I'm sure it's the same for the rest of them as well. It's just, you've got to hustle really to get to where you want to be, so you can start off and take yourself up further. But yeah, you need money to make money, so that's how it is.
Yeah.
Trust me, you know what? That is the most. Every person that's been on this show who started their own business, they've had to hustle. It's not been, oh, I have an uncle that has a lot of money and they can invest in my business. They've had to, do 8-9 clients a day. They've had to work, during the day and then work again part-time at night, like that kind of thing, to get their money together because they had a bigger dream in terms of starting out their business. So that's not, it's such a, unfortunately, it's not like the glamorous story of people on the phone, but it is the truthful story. Everyone pretty much needs to hustle to make the money to invest in their dream. What about you, Rita?
I guess for me, it's a little bit different because I already had the salon, I already had the building. So for me, I would say that
roll us back a bit. How did you already have a salon?
Because my mom started it 16 years ago. So the
Okay.
building was already there. We already had Bermondsey already. So for me, it was different in that side of things. But in terms of ongoing, I just stopped paying myself really. If there was something that we had to do, I would use what my wages would be and I'll use that to put it into the business. So that was my way of putting my money, in a sense, back into the business because I was blessed enough to already have the building already. So in a sense, it's almost like my parents are my investors. And then what I've done is I don't have time. I don't need the money right now because I'm trying to build a business that I don't have to worry about money. So the money I would use for myself, I put that into the business. So if we need to buy a bulk of hair and stuff like that, that's what I do. If we need to do a photo shoot and we don't have the budget for the photo shoot, I would use the money that I would pay myself and I'll put that into the photo shoot.
Sacrifice.
See,
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
entrepreneurs don't got no salary. Yo,
Trust
people
me.
think the Black British
What
Business
salary?
Award. I got no salary. I was like, people are like, yeah, they see me on TV, they see all this stuff. They're like, Mel, the Black British Business Awards, enlarging it in the hotel. And I'm like, no, Sophie and I have never paid for ever paid ourselves ever. It is totally a charity.
Crazy.
We throw money at it, and we do not get any kind of money out of it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but again, it's the dream, right? So
Yeah.
there is still the sacrifice. I'm really sorry,
Yeah.
guys. I can't make it more glamorous. You do have to hustle and struggle and sacrifice to start your business. It's not,
Yeah.
and anyone does. It doesn't matter where you're from. That's what you have to do. And you, Hannah?
Yep.
I had this, again, it's the same hustling, saving, but I remember I kind of worked backwards. I said to myself, okay, after uni, by the moment I graduate, I want to open up a salon. So I said, okay, I'm just going to use 10K as a budget. So this was in December of my final year. And I said, by August, the next year, I want to have a salon. So I said, how much would I have to save every single week to be able to open up a salon with 10K? So it came up to something like £300 a week. Luckily, I did have clients, so I did have money coming in. But then so my goal was to save £300 every single week. Maybe I would, after doing my clients, I would have like £150. So I'd have to find out how I'm going to get another £150. So I sold some of my clothes, I sold my mum's things, and I literally just that time, in that whole year where I was hustling, I literally didn't do my hair, I didn't buy any makeup, I didn't buy clothes because I was selling my clothes, but I just had to, my goal was to make sure I got £300 every single week to get 10K, and I got 10K, and I opened up the salon. That was my first, that was the first salon. The second salon, because the first salon was doing very well, money just came. It was a lot easier to do the second salon. It wasn't a difficult way to save, yeah.
Wow. You know what? I may have to bring you back for another show in terms of, kind of saving, because I can't, a lot of people cannot imagine just selling all of your stuff. I'm not gonna lie, selling your mom's stuff. That's. Did you ask her first, or?
Yeah, because you know what, I was so hungry. I was so determined to make, because all I knew was
Hello,
Can you hear me?
hello. We can hear
Oh
you,
my
but we
god, they
can't.
can hear me now.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
That's scary.
The beginning, trying to get you guys to hear me. No one can hear me. We're struggling over here.
Oh, wait. Oh no.
Hold
Let
on.
me see. Okay. See if you can press the. I was wondering where he was, but I didn't want to kind of bring attention to the fact that we were missing somebody. So if you go down the left-hand side of your control panel, then there's like those are little green buttons, or they're little buttons that you turn to green. I think it's the second and the third buttons down, right under the orange arrow, that will turn on your screen.
Can you hear me at the moment?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Can you hear me?
But we can hear you.
Okay, because I'm currently using the app. I downloaded the app, and
Okay.
I'm not seeing all of these options that you're saying.
Okay. Well. Well.
But I am here.
Yay!
Now you can
Thank
hear
you
me.
so much. Thank you so much.
Aw.
We've had to log in about
You
4 or
what?
5 times to just to get you guys to hear me. But yeah, we've made it this far.
Do you want to tell everyone who you are? Because I don't. I let you introduce yourself.
Okay, my name's Aaron Wallace. I am the founder of Sheer and Shine, and we are the UK's first black-owned grooming brand for black men. So we provide, beard oils, shampoos, conditioners, all of your grooming needs for black men.
All of your grooming needs. And then where are you based? Can you let us know?
The shop itself is based in East Croydon, but you can find us online. We ship worldwide, and you can find us on the website, which is sheerandshine.co.uk or sheerandShineGrooming.co.uk.
Thank you. And so, Aaron, I want to catch you up to everybody because, everyone got
Don't worry, I'm caught up. I've been here from the beginning, so I'm caught up. Hey, guys, how's everyone doing?
I'm okay.
I can see all of you as well. You can't see me.
I don't have the app. This is the thing. So there's no little button that has like a little, video camera that you can kind of show your face a little bit.
There's a little button that has a picture of a face on it, and then when I press it, it makes everyone disappear. So I don't think that's the button. Oh, God. Yeah.
While you're looking for the button, can you tell us how you got started with Sheer and Shine?
Okay, well, for me, it kind of started when I was actually running a different company with my business partner, and which was more focused on young entrepreneurs and helping them to kind of get started with their business, business planning, finding finance, etc. And I found that I was moving in a lot more professional circles, and I found that when I was going to my local barbershops, I wasn't very happy with the service that I was receiving, and I wasn't very happy with the level of professionalism that I was experiencing in a lot of the Afro-Caribbean barbershops. So I felt that there's a gap here, and there's not only a gap, there's a need here. A lot of customers, there's a need where we don't want to go into a barbershop and feel intimidated or feel uncomfortable. We want to go to somewhere that has a nice environment and where you feel like you're treated like royalty. So that was kind of one of the motivators for me starting the barbershop. And I felt that when I was opening the barbershop, I was looking at some of the European salons as a benchmark to where I wanted my standard of professionalism to be. So things like having my own product range and a retail section was all part of the initial plan when I wanted to open my shop. And so basically the main reason was that I felt that there was a gap in the market, and there was a standard that needed to be raised.
And then you focused on men. So why did you focus on men?
With the product side of things, we decided to focus on men primarily because we are a barbershop, so we cater to men. That's our, that's our main client base is men, black men.
You focused on, you focused on barbershop, right?
Yeah.
So then how did
the reason. Say that again, sorry?
No, you can keep on going.
Okay, well, I felt that, personally, I felt that black men were overlooked. I felt that there's a lot of hair salons for black women, there's a lot of products for black women, there's a lot of things out there for black women, there's a lot of options and choice for black women. But I felt like the black men, we was lagging behind a little bit, and there wasn't as much choice in the area.
That's cool. And that's where I wanted to get to, because I wanted to make sure that every one of you, I don't know if you guys noticed, but every one of you identified a gap that you saw in a market, and then you said, you were dissatisfied with something, or, you just weren't getting the experience that you wanted. Then that's where I wanted to get with you, Aaron, to say, okay, you know what, there was what was the gap that you were trying to fill? Because that's what we're all trying to do when we have our businesses, right? Like we just don't. Because one of the questions that was raised, and this is, where is it? It's about the hair market in general, and the hair market being saturated. And so how do you guys get around that? There is a lot of noise around, black hair everywhere in the world. So how did you, all of you have identified different things that you knew that there was a gap in the market. So do you guys have any thoughts on that? Hannah?
Can I just say yes?
Yes.
Ladies first.
Oh, right, sure. Thanks. Can I just say, I didn't necessarily start the business with, there's a gap here, I'm going to fill this, or I don't like this and I'm going to try and make this better. That wasn't my mindset. My mindset was, I like to do hair and I want to build a platform to be able to do hair in. Literally, that was my mindset, and that was what I went for.
And then did you look at the competition at all when you were
No,
starting
no,
off your salon or anything?
no.
Yeah.
Didn't faze me at all. I had my own. Sorry?
That's good. That's amazing.
Literally, honestly, and I think that's what drove me, because it was literally, I wasn't trying to beat another person's potential or compare myself to another and try and outdo, or it was honestly my desires that I was trying to fulfill within. That was my journey. That was my path.
And did you look at the best in class or anything? Like when you were doing your research in terms of design or services, did you look at the market at all then?
In terms of how I wanted the salon to look, yeah, I looked at salons. I looked at a lot of European salons with the design, the decor.
Yeah, the European design. And then what about you, Marvin? What are your thoughts in regards to the market being kind of saturated, particularly because you're on the supply side as well, right? Like the supply chain side, so it's quite difficult for Black people.
Well, me personally, I don't think it's a difficult market. I think there's enough people out there to you to like give your business to. There's enough people have options out there. Like I think like being a Black-owned business and having like other Black-owned businesses around you is really good for support, because then you all kind of build each other up. But at the same time, there will always be like different other businesses out there that like there's always a low-key kind of competition thing out there. But the thing is, it's either you let the competition beat you, or you let the competition get to you, or you take the competition as something healthy and be like, do you know what, I'm going to use that to build myself up. Or if we can work together and build ourselves up, then we will do that. But it's not always as easy as that, to be honest. Yeah. It's not always as easy as that.
But it's a good mentality to approach it as, you have like choices, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely.
And then you, Rita?
I feel like
Aaron?
oh,
Sorry.
me or Aaron?
First Rita and then Aaron.
Okay. I think for me, I definitely agree with Marvin. Like, there's obviously always going to be competition, but I think with us, we just decided not even to focus on it, because it can actually eat you alive if you spend your time. Because there's always going to be someone that's better at you doing something. Do you know what I mean? So if you focus on, oh my gosh, they're doing this, they're doing that, it will literally take away your creativity. So I think it's better to use it to inspire you as well. So that's what I do personally. I don't let it, what's the right word? I don't like succumb to competition. I just kind of, I see something, if I like it, I embrace the fact that I like it, and then I keep it moving. I think it's good to allow yourself to be inspired by other creatives. I think it's important as well. Yeah, so that's
for me. I mean, when I was starting, I definitely had a little look around at the competition, and I definitely had a look around and thought, what can I do? What can I bring to the table that's different, that is kind of, because I do think that there is a lot of hair brands in the market right now. There's a lot of us, and that's a great thing, because competition makes us all improve what we're doing. But it's one of those things that when you go into business, you have to acknowledge that there is competition and kind of have a strategy in place on how you're going to make yourself stand out. And for me, the way that I did that was, one, I focused on just the men, because I've had a lot of people that say, why haven't you done products for ladies? Why haven't you done products for European hair? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? And for me, I wanted to be very specialized. I wanted to have a laser focus on who I'm talking to, who I'm trying to target, who I'm trying to reach. And so that's kind of how I went about it.
See, so wow, honestly, guys, what you guys have just said has just promoted like hella questions. There's like hella questions in the dashboard, and don't worry, David Westwood, I see you with your 5 questions, and you know what, I'm gonna see if we can try to address all of them, because you know what, all of you have been really mobile. You guys have been really flexible. You're saying, look, competition's gonna come. You either kind of just look at it to make sure it inspires you, use it in kind of a healthy way. Maybe you can even collaborate. It's difficult, but it's not going to stop you from the dreams that all four of you have had, right? So in terms of, and competition is only one kind of market challenge. I guess another market, they were saying that a question from, let's see, I think is it Giselle. How do you see the trend in terms of, natural hair care, the trends that are coming down from the U.S.? How do they impact? Like, how do you kind of stay on top of your game, and how do you stay on top of all the trends that are coming through with black hair being so, popular right now? Like, it's, people are really starting to pay attention to their hair care. People are starting to pay attention to us and how we take care of our hair and what we do with our hair. And so, how do you stay on top of the trends?
Instagram. Research.
Kind of social media, you just gotta learn to keep up. If you don't keep up, you're not reading it.
Yeah, literally. Research. Like, Instagram's amazing because you're seeing everyone from all around the world. So literally Instagram, Twitter, everything, and just people as well, just speaking to different people as well. Like, sometimes we have clients come in and they'll say, oh yeah, there's this new cream, I read about a blogger was talking about this cream, and then we look into it as well. So it's, definitely every social media and people.
Yeah.
And then, well, that brings us to a good point, because there is another question from Daisy. Thank you so much, Daisy. What communication channels, do you use for growing your salon and learning about the industry?
I probably only really use Instagram and Facebook. Well, I don't even really use Facebook, but I know I have a Facebook. That kind of gets handled. But I feel like Facebook and Instagram right now are probably the best ways to keep up, let people know what you're about, let people know your stuff. Like, Facebook and Instagram are just the best for everything right now, to be honest. So it's good for information. It's good to let people know what we do and what we're about, and just to keep people informed.
Yeah, cool. What about you?
Also, groups as well. Social media, like we've covered, is amazing. But groups as well, Facebook groups, where there's other people who are like-minded, and you can kind of share thoughts and ideas and bounce things off each other as well, is also really great.
That's true.
And do you guys do anything, like, how else do you guys grow your client base? Is it, so when I wear a dress at the awards, then people ask me, I make sure that I'm like, yeah, this is the designer, this is what she does, and then, make sure that she gets the referrals that she needs. Like, and that's just kind of one type of way to get your products and services out there. Like, do you guys do that kind of stuff often, or?
Yeah. I mean, for me, so about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, we were saying, okay, we're going to work with loads of bloggers. If they've got, loads of followers, we're going to do their hair for free, and we're going to work with them. What we found is that not every person that has loads of followers actually has influence. And that's actually the difference. So we used to do all these free services, and they will post a picture, and I'll be on my phone like, all right, it's going to happen. And it's like, nothing happened. And I'm like, hold on a second. The girls were at the salon till like 1 o'clock doing this girl's hair, and they posted, and not even one person has followed us back. So literally, we then had to actually, look at people like who are actually influencers for real, because it's not about numbers. Numbers mean nothing. There can be someone that has 4,000 followers, and the people that are following them, they are legit like followers. So whatever that person does, they're up for it. So for us, we don't do as many as we did before in terms of free services, but we're quite specific about what we need. So if it's something to do with color, we will, see what kind of person, what kind of style they have. Do they know how to sell color? Do they know how to sell hair? What kind of pictures do they take? Like, we've done people's hair, and they'll take a picture and it's from here, but you can't see the top of the head, and it's like, well, what's that going to do for me? Or their status is so inconspicuous. So it's just about finding the right people that can actually sell yourself. So yeah, we do work with influencers, but not as much as we did before. But it can be really helpful to do that.
I definitely think with like black-owned businesses and just like black people in general, word of mouth is like our most powerful thing. Word of mouth will either make you or break you. So it's, yeah, that's definitely what it is. Word of mouth for us is definitely like probably our biggest, our biggest way of communication. Oh, who done your hair? Oh, this person, da 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 da. And from there, that's all you need. I see it with my eyes. You've told me who it is. Boom, that's all I need.
I think I agree with that one. I think at the beginning, a lot of it came from, despite doing social media, a lot of it came from I saw, I heard, I this, and it's just that was that, and it goes so fast. Like people talk so quickly, so it just spreads. I think that's a really big one. Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So basically, you have to make sure that you do the hair of people who have big mouths.
It's not even just big mouths, because literally they could just be going to literally it's someone saying, oh, I was just in Westfield and I saw this hairstyle and I asked her, I ran up to her. I even do it to people. I go up to people.
Yeah.
Huh? I go up to people if I see a nice hairstyle. I say, oh, where did you get your hair done? It's really nice.
Yeah.
And I think it seems to be only of recent people have been doing that, because a lot of girls were like, oh, I don't want to go and ask her where she got her hair done. But I think like girls don't give a damn anymore. Like, it's okay, your hair done. Where did you get it done? Because I'm going to have that hairstyle by tomorrow. So,
exactly.
I didn't like to ask questions before, but now questions are hard and fast. Where did you get it done?
Yeah.
I want to get it done. Can I get it booked now? Like, people ain't playing games when it comes to their hair anymore.
And then do you guys go with the natural hair? Like, do you do natural hair as well? Because Giselle's calling for me. She's like, no, Mel, I'm asking about natural hair. So do you do?
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta give a shout out. So there's the natural hair. How is the natural hair industry? How have you incorporated that into your business? Is it just a holistic part of it, or how has it impacted you over the last few years? Because particularly, you've been in business for like 15 years. You guys have been around for a while. So how has it impacted you?
I guess for me, I've made a real decision to make sure that the girls understand hair, like not just the weaves and not just, I think that's what can separate us from people who are on Instagram just doing hair for the sake of it and people who are actually in the business of hair. And that would mean understanding every aspect of it. Probably about 6 months ago, we actually hired a girl who was specifically for natural hair. She understands it, she knows all about it, and then she's now told the girls about it as well. So I do think it's actually really important to, bring in the whole natural hair thing, because at the end of the day, we want to feel beautiful both ways. You want to feel beautiful when your hair is laid with the frontal and the closures, but also you want to feel beautiful when you just have your own hair. It should be an option. It shouldn't be by force. And I think I've really emphasized that with the girls, because I didn't want to feel like a hypocrite saying I've got this salon and it's for black women, but it's only for a certain type of black woman. It should be for every kind of woman. So if you want braids, we've got you. You want cane rolls, we've got you. You want to just leave out your own natural hair, you want to leave it like an afro, you want to straighten it, we want to have the options for everyone. So for us, we made a decision to kind of focus on that more.
I think with me, because I'm freelance at the moment and I work from home as well, I do deal with natural hair. I know how to deal with natural hair, but I don't want to clog up my bath, so I don't really do natural hair too tough. But you know what I'm saying? What I do as much as I can is I give. I'm not lying. I got a bath in that bath. It's not on. So what I do is that I give as much advice about natural hair as possible, because I do have a few clients that will be like, you know what? I don't care about natural hair. As long as my wig is on, you'll be doing my hair at my funeral. Okay, no, I won't. So what you're going to learn how to do is take care of your natural hair, keep your hair moisturized, and there's just a lot of things that you have to do when it comes to with your natural hair. And I don't think it's as hard as I'm seeing all this apple cider vinegar and all of this madness, because I've got girls that literally just put a castor oil in their hair once every 2 weeks and their hair is all streaming down their back. So I just think you just got to learn how to take care of your hair. Not everybody is the same. Some people need the apple cider vinegar and all that. Some people can just do with a decent little grease. As long as you're taking care of what God gave you, that's good. That's all that matters. No point trying to put on a closure on a bad foundation. It's not going to happen. And the closure will set back clearly. You can't get mad at your hairdresser.
The amount of jokes that I received from what you just said, Marvin, I can't even take it. No point of putting closure on that. That is my motivation Monday quote. No,
Keep natural hair healthy.
Aaron, those I feel because we've been focusing more on women's hair, but then how does it change for men's hair when in regards to like do men talk about hair as much? Do you rely on you because you mentioned groups for particularly
Yeah.
so how do you market your how do you market your brand, like how do you get it out there, what channels do you use?
Well, I think with men, we have different issues to the ladies, obviously. So the natural hair movement hasn't affected us as much. I mean, the only thing that I really see is more ladies in the barber chair nowadays getting their sides tapered down and getting the little blends every now and then. So in that aspect, I've noticed a difference. But for men, because we keep our hair quite low and we've always, had it natural, do you know what I mean? We haven't really, although I have seen the texturizers, so in that aspect, we're doing a lot less texturizing that we used to do. To answer your question, in terms of getting out there, I like to use the influencers within our area. So we find out who the people are that have a following, and we get them to kind of promote our stuff and talk about what we're doing next and whatever. PR people that are specialized, we get them to get the word out for us as well. And referrals, like whenever we've got a happy customer, we get them to bring a friend. We give them half price if they bring a friend, and that helps to get the word of mouth out there. Especially if you can find a person who's like, the cool kid in college or the popular guy in the office or the big mouth in the office, those kind of people, they're the ones that will help to bring other people to your brand.
So let's talk about the flip. So on the flip, it's great when people love your brand and they're talking about it, but what about criticism? So we have a question from Leonie O'Connor. How do you deal when people are criticizing your brand or criticizing your service? Particularly, let's keep it 100. I know because Black people have a way with words sometimes. It's particularly piercing. We're quite creative sometimes in our cussing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I can.
Definitely.
I quite creative, and it goes deep, right? So
Yeah.
how do you guys deal with that? How do you deal with, how have you dealt with that when people have been dissatisfied with your services or your products, if they've ever had it?
Oh no. Yeah.
It's something that we haven't come across that much yet. We haven't had too many dissatisfied customers to the extent where they're, slandering us or on social media and saying anything like that. So we haven't really experienced that too much yet. But what we do try to do is focus highly on customer service, and we try to stay in a strong communication with our customers so that when things are not going right, or for example, if they've ordered the product and they haven't received their product yet, etc., we do our best to stay in contact with the customer and let them know what is going on, what the reason for the delay is, and basically we try to keep them as sweet as possible.
Can I? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so I have to be honest with this. Business is like one day it's great, the next day something goes wrong. You don't plan for anything to go wrong, but you could be having a bad day, you could be in a bad position, or just circumstances don't always go right. And for those reasons, it may reflect to the service that you're giving to your client. And obviously, it's not their fault, but obviously they don't understand. They're just coming for a service, so on, so on. So when those moments happen, the terrible moments, and I've had loads. I've just been able to I have to be rational about it. I kind of focus on, okay, this client is just not being, because there's healthy criticism and there's just someone just literally trying to bring you down for whatever reason. So I have to differentiate between the two. So if they're just literally trying to bring me down for no reason, I honestly, I'm strong enough to walk past it and continue on. It's when there's truth behind what they're saying, it really does break my heart. But I've learned to take it and to honestly, all you can do is just keep going, because no company is perfect. No company just has a smooth line. There will be downs, but as long as you can look at that and say, okay, and admit, be honest, I failed here. I really went wrong here, but I'm going to get up from this and I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to learn. I'm going to ask for help where I need to be helped. I'll humbly apologize where I need to apologize. It's just about, to me, I've just learned that I have to be honest about where I'm failing, seek the help that I need to get, and just it's being humble and knowing that I'm not going to be perfect. So not to also beat myself up about failing where I failed. But it is to someone who's passionate about their business, when backlash comes from clients, it is really demoralizing. It's not like, oh, I don't care. It is demoralizing for those people. So I even sometimes, anyway, yeah, that's another bit. But yeah, that's how I kind of deal with it.
Yeah, even the largest companies that have been operating for God knows how long still have mess ups. You know what I mean? Like look at Samsung the other day. Like things can always go wrong no matter where you are with your business. So I agree with Hannah. Like it's important not to beat yourself up about failings that you do have.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very hard to not beat yourself up about it, though. Very, very hard.
It's hard because we're passionate about what we do, but you have to just,
But say that again, Marvin.
You just have to develop a real thick skin when it comes to it, and you have to kind of like, I don't know, when it comes to like having full 100% passion into something, it could take one thing someone say to you and then you'll just be like, right, well, that's it, I'm finished, don't want to do it no more, my heart's broken. But like, you have to, I don't know, sometimes like Hannah said, you can't let yourself get beaten up over it. And I'm a person that I will take criticism real hard and I'll let it affect my whole day. Now I'm just like, all right, cool. Like I take into consideration what you're saying. I will try and fix it for not just you the next time, but for anybody else. Like I'll just try and rectify my problem in it. But with that being said, I do think that anyway, like I said, that's for another story. But yeah, nah. Yeah, let's just stick with that one.
For me, we had our first like attack on Twitter about maybe 2 months ago, and it was bad. And the reason why this lady was unhappy was because we refused to do a service on her, and the reason why we refused to do the service because we didn't feel like it would be good for her hair. So we just the stylist said we can't do it because if we do it, like it's literally just going to destroy your hair. And we have a strong policy that it's not about the money. If it's going to, break your hair, we're just not going to do it. We'd rather you walk out than we do it. And you come back and you're like, oh my God, Radiant, you did this to my hair kind of thing. But it didn't really go too well. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Sorry about that. It didn't really go too well. The girl was really, really angry. She went on Twitter. She had like a huge following. So you had people retweeting her. And then I responded in the best way possible, which was an awful idea because then I had like over 100 mentions like, oh, you think you're a CEO, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know that we can make or break your business is in tatters at the moment, like literally it was awful. And I was so upset. I was in a salon and I was literally trying to hold back my tears because obviously it's my baby and I don't want anyone to feel that way, and the things that people were saying were awful. And I decided to like every single one of them. And when I calmed down, I went to read it all over again because sometimes when people are saying things, there can often be some truth in it. So they were talking about, aspects of our customer service and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, let me actually look into this and see what it is that we're doing wrong. And then when I did, I realized, okay, maybe we do have a problem. So I then used that situation and then set up a customer service training for the girls. I closed the salon for the day and made sure that we kind of got some things right. So even though it was awful at the time, it did make me think about the business and think, all right, you know what, let me listen to what these people are saying. Some of it was rubbish, but there was some truth in it. So then we fixed it so it doesn't happen again. But like Hannah and Marvin were saying, like you have to have thick skin because some people are going to say some awful things, and if you allow it to affect you each time, you wouldn't want to leave your house. So it's just better to just take it and be like, all right, cool, let's fix it. If you can't fix it, all right, let's move on and just keep it moving, really. So
Thank you so much. You guys are really, really, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Because it's hard to deal with criticism and then to be able to share that experience with other people. And so, Leonie, I got a lot from that answer. So I hope that you got the answer that you were looking for. It's tough.
That's really tough.
Yeah, I know.
One
it's
thing
tough.
I was thinking is how even though that was a really bad experience that you went through, like imagine how worse it would have been if you had done the treatment on her hair and broken her hair, and then she was putting those pictures online of her broken hair. Do you know what I mean? That would have been even as bad as it was. It could have been worse.
Yeah, and you know you're sticking to your principles, and you know it does, Leonie, though it gets easier. The bigger that you get, you realize that you're not going to be able to take everyone with you. There will always be someone who's not going to be completely happy with you. Maybe not everyone, but there's going to be that one. And then the more that the bigger that you get, the more that you get, and then the less it hurts. The first time when someone tweeted about me on the BBC, I was going to cry. And now when I get the little stuff with the little tweaks and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, right. And I just block them. It just gets a little bit easier. It gets a little bit easier. So, I just wanted to mention it's 8:30, but we started late, and I can't even deal right now with all these questions coming in, like on all my screens. So there are some questions in regards to your visions and plans. We're just gonna extend it a little bit just so we can try to address everyone's questions, get as much as you can out of it. And if you missed the beginning, which I said some of you have by some of the questions you're asking, side eye, and you guys can go back because we'll have the recording available on the Black British Business Awards website. But so in terms of your vision for your salons, for your business, how do you set? Hannah, you have 2 salons now. So what comes next? Because you have a big vista ahead of you. What do you guys want to do with your businesses next? And how do you decide on your vision and your goals for your business? I'd like to start with Hannah because I know that you're at the 2 salon moment. Hannah?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to answer it. I'm trying to, you know what? It's funny because at the beginning, when I was 21, opening up the salon, I was like, I was determined not to have one. Like, I wanted to have loads. And then when the second one opened, I find that I'm kind of reassessing my vision because. Just because of how hard it is, it's just not easy. So I'm redefining my vision every single day based on the realities that I'm facing, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning, I was determined to have a load of salons, but it's not my reality at the moment, if I'm honest.
Because once you get there, then all of a sudden you're like, do I want this anymore? You think about this for the second.
Yeah.
But you do have to get there to be able to realize that, right? So congratulations on you, and it's good that you're reassessing. It happens. I wanted to be a big management consultant at a bank. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be financial services consultant. I was flying around the world, on expenses. It was fantastic. Going to Brazil one day, San Francisco the other day, and then I got there and I was like, I'm not sure if I want this anymore. My skin's drying out, my hair's drying out, don't see my friends anymore, I'm gaining all this weight, and I changed my life because of it. But I had to get there to know I didn't want it anymore.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I didn't change it on. So, Aaron, what about you? What's the next step? How do you set for your business? Have you even tried to show your face on this webinar? Are you trying to open the button?
I tried for the first 40 minutes and gave up. I just realized that this was life right now. It's just audio.
We'll have to have you back so you can show your face.
Definitely. But for me, I mean, I'm hugely ambitious. Sometimes I've been told over-ambitious, but I think that you got to aim high, aim for the stars, touch the clouds, all that kind of stuff. So for me, I definitely want to open more barbershops, more venues, and be located around South London, the whole of the UK really, eventually. But but the main thing for me right now is focusing on the products. I want I want Sheer and Shine to be the first name that black men think of when they think of their hair. So when a black man thinks of anything to do with grooming, I want Sheer and Shine to be the first thought that comes into their head. You know what I mean? And yes, those are my main things. And also, I want to start training young people into barbering as well, because I think that barbering is a very important skill, and there's a lot of young people that are looking for things to do with themselves, a career that they can really dive into. And I think barbering and hairdressing is one of those skills that you can do it. Your earning potential is unlimited. You can go anywhere in the world. You can do it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those really amazing skills that allows you to be your own boss. So that's also something that I really want to push in the future, is training more of the younger generation into barbering, and with more of a focus on customer service.
That's brilliant. Because you know what, over ambitious, yeah, maybe, but you're right. Like it's not. I don't know whose standards are they measuring you against? You know what I mean? That doesn't sound overambitious at all. And you just answered Varaine's question, because Varaine asked, she asked all of you, would you consider sharing your knowledge to anyone that shares your passion and that's willing to start a business? So, you know, for example, the Tokyo Styles hair tours, the one-on-one training, that kind of thing. And so that seems like that's right up your street.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're at the moment we're looking for young barbers that are interested in getting training and training up and starting their careers with Sheer and Shine. So like I said, the business that I was running before I started Sheer and Shine was helping young people to get their businesses up and running. So I'm always here to, you know, give a bit of advice and help out.
Mm. And then Rita, what about you and your visions and your goals for your salon?
I guess like what Hannah was saying, like when you actually have a salon, there's so many like challenges, like so many places where your money goes. So it does cause you to kind of reevaluate your vision. But I think for me, I don't see the salon as just a hair salon. I kind of see it like a lifestyle salon. I kind of see it as like a safe place for women to come, to chill, to have a drink, and just, you know, run away from their hectic lives. So I think for me, moving forward, I want to do more things geared towards women, not only through their hair, but, you know, even like doing little events. Like at the moment now on a Tuesday, we have like a fellowship there. So just using the salon space to do more things and just broaden it more. Overall, I just want to create a life for myself in a sense where I can be completely comfortable to be able to, in the future, spend time with my family. I want to have that kind of life where I'm flexible with my hours and how I work. So for me, I'm always trying to find ways that I can do that. So if that means by expanding, or if it means by opening up smaller branches, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I do have like many ideas of how I can kind of put Radiant out there even more. It's just a matter of kind of reassessing how I'm going to do that. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment.
And then Marvin?
I think for me it's a little more tricky, because I really do want to open a salon, and at the moment, with everything that I do and have done, and not many people actually know this, I am not a professional. Like, I do not have my things on paper or anything like that. I'm currently doing that at the moment. So I want to establish myself as a hairdresser, but then I'm thinking to myself, I also want to be a salon owner. And it's kind of hard because I can't really be in two places at once. And because I've done it for so long by myself, I find it so hard to give someone else the reins of like, okay, I'm gonna let you sort out the salon side while I kind of establish myself. So I find myself bouncing from like one side to the other, and I feel like me establishing myself as a hairdresser is going really, really, really well, because my client base is crazy. The clients that I do work with are crazy, and the experience that I have had has been like not many people can say that they've had that experience. So I'm very blessed and I'm very lucky for the experience that I have had. It's just being able to keep doing that and have a successful salon at the same time. That's my main goal, and that's where I want to be. I'm just finding it kind of hard to do both of them at the same time. So it's going to take a lot of time, but I'm eventually going to get there.
So then we've talked about your individual goals. For what do you guys see in terms of, your magic ball, your magic kind of crystal ball? What do you guys see in regards to the future, in terms of black hair? How, one question that we had, David Westwood, I got you, okay, David, you sent me 5 questions. I can't answer just your questions on the show. But he asked, how long do you think it'll take before we see a black kind of Tony and Guy, salon? Or...
what does that mean?
Well, that's the, it's more, kinds of those big chains, you kind of see them on every high street, as well as, and you see their products in our stores as well, in our big chemists as well.
I mean, I think what people need to understand about these European salons like Thai, this is generational. It's generational business. It's their great grand. It goes far. And I think to answer that question, I feel like all of us here, we're trying to start a generational business. We're trying to start a business that our kids will be able to carry on, their kids will be able to carry on, and then we'll be sitting down and we'll be looking down and they'll say, oh, it's like there's like 100 of them around and stuff like that. For us, we're literally the ones starting it. We're trying to up the standards. We're changing the salon experience. Before, black salons, you just walk in. There was no appointments. There was nothing. You just walk in. There was, come in. People are eating jollof rice in the salon. That's how it used to be. Do you understand? And now that's changing a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of salons that were high standard. You walk in, it's an appointment, they're giving you a cup of tea, they're treating you nicely. So I think the most important thing is what we're doing now is starting it. We're trying to build a generational business, and then we will be like Tony and Guy, if not better than Tony and Guy. And Tony and Guy have a lot of money and a lot of franchises. There's so much that goes into it. So I don't know, we'll see, I guess.
Because it is something also about the numbers as well, right? So we make up, I would say at the most 10 to 15% of the population, and that, we're not even looking at hair texture when we, because there are some kind of, in terms of mixed race, you don't necessarily need kind of a specialist black hair salon who will be able to take care of your special hair care needs. So there is something about the critical mass that's required for a black hair salon, or for a thriving kind of black hair salon chain. Mr.
It's
David.
Money.
Yeah, you laughed out. David Westwood just laughed out loud. So I hope you know David is very into the show. I just want to let you guys know he's a super fan. Thank you, David. Though I just want to make sure you're taken care of. So I guess we're going into the end of the show, and I wanted to make sure that all of you had a chance to tell people what you are excited about, or what, I want you to be able to share with the audience and say, okay, what are you excited about? What's coming up for you? And then we want to make sure that those are in the notes as well, the show notes, and that we're able to promote that for you as well over the next few weeks. So who wants to start?
Da-da-da.
Start.
I think for us, we're gearing up, to open up our Croydon branch. So that's very exciting. A lot of work. It's harder nowadays to actually get staff to even work for you because everyone can do it themselves. Like, the world has changed, So, but we're just really excited to get that out there as well and have 2 functioning salons. So I guess for us right now, that's our main focus, to keep Bermondsey running and get Croydon running as well and get that active.
Ooh, man. Okay. When are we going to be seeing this Croydon branch, you think?
Man, by God's grace, very soon. It's been such a tricky journey because, like I said, these things involve money. Like, if not for money, anyone can do it, but it involves money. You can't help it. So, it's just a matter of getting everything together we've got the keys and all of that stuff, but we're just trying to make the salon perfect and make it match what we're about, and that takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time. But right now I'm actually leaving it in God's hands, and by God's grace it'll be very soon, and once it's ready everyone will know. So yeah.
And where can people find more about you, Rita, and the salon?
Instagram. So my Instagram is Rita B. The Radiant Instagram, which is Radiant London Salon. The same for Twitter. The same for Instagram. Oh wait, sorry. What am I saying? Yeah, the same for Twitter and the same for Instagram. So it's the same thing. I can't speak right now. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So it's at Radiant Salon, though.
At Radiant London Salon. Yeah, Radiant London Salon.
And then what about you, Marvin? How are we gonna find you? I need to do my hair for I haven't even bought a dress for this ceremony, the award ceremony next week, and I haven't even thought about what hairstyle I'm gonna do. So how do I, if I'm looking for somebody, how do I find you? I don't have to come from your house. Clog up your sink.
Just come with your hair prepped, dog, and you're fine. I think, you can find me at hairbyhimuk.com. You can also follow my Instagram, hairbyhimuk, and I have a shop page at hairbyhimuk_shop. For Hair by Him UK, I can't really say too much because I'm actually not allowed to, or it's not going to go ahead. But for me, I'm just trying to. I'm just trying, with me personally, I'm just trying to keep building up my clientele and just get out there, like the celebrity clients that I'm trying to work with and things like that. Yeah, hopefully you'll see a lot more of me. Hopefully.
And then let's just say we wanted to buy. What if I wanted to buy some hair? Because I like to buy hair. So
you can purchase everything on hairbyhimuk.com.
Brilliant. Thank you. We'll make sure those are on the notes as well. And then Mr. Aaron on the phone.
Hi.
Hi.
Got a few things coming up that we're working on. We've got some big announcements that we're going to make, but like Marvin, we can't release too much information right now, otherwise it might not even go ahead, But yeah, on Monday we'll be making some announcements on what we're going to be doing. So we're in some conversations right now. So we're looking forward to the next 6 months. But in terms of where you can find us on at Sheer and Shine on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's just at Sheer and Shine. You can also find us on Fragrance Direct, which is a online retailer. They're quite large, so you can get our products on there as well. But yeah, Sheer and Shine, all the ways where you can find us.
Brilliant. And then we know that, with because you guys are all being quite stout, you're like, yes, by God's grace, I can't really tell you what's going on right now. But
everything is by God's grace. Everything is by God's grace. Seriously, that's how I live my life. It's by God's grace. I can have my plans.
Sometimes you have to do your own kind of pushing, though.
Yeah.
Trust me.
But if you guys go on the BBBA timeline on Twitter, we have tried to tweet everyone in the last hour during the show. You'll find it'll be on our timeline, guys. So make sure that you follow and in anticipation of the announcements, by God's grace, big things that are going on in secret. And Hannah.
Sorry? Well, on the 1st of December, it's my 50th anniversary in Honey Hand, and I'm trying to plan how to celebrate that, because I do think 5 years is a milestone. Yeah.
So
we did too.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
So we should be looking forward to your 5th anniversary party.
Something like that. Maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Where do we find you?
Honeyhand.co.uk. Maybe. Email?
Yeah. We'll make sure that, again, we have tweeted everyone during the show, guys, so we'll make sure that you have all of their information, and so you can go and because there are so many questions that I haven't been able to address during this show. So you may be able to talk to them and ask them your own questions, and maybe they'll be able to, if they're not, kind of up in their secret plans, they might be able to answer them as well. But you, all of you have been absolutely amazing. I'm sad that we only have an hour for the show because there's so many things that even me personally I wanted to ask you and talk to you about. But the feedback, even online right now, I can see like David West was like, this show was amazing. All of you guys are amazing, and you guys are all amazing. You're all doing amazing things, and I'm so I'm really proud that you guys came on the show. So thank you so much.
Well, thank
so
you.
I think that'll be really valuable, and it's not only tonight. It's going to be the gift that keeps on giving. So we're going to make sure it's on the website so that people can link to it and share all of your knowledge that you share with us. Thank you for being so authentic and real and telling us about the struggles as well as the victories. And guys, if you want to listen to that recording, you can go to the BBBAwards.com. The show is next week, the big award show. Just a few announcements. I think tickets close on Friday. We have about 450 people coming right now to the St. Paul's Grange Hotel to celebrate some of the amazing talent that's coming out of the Black community, from arts and media to financial services to music to science and technology. And so I'm really tired right now. That's why I'm in my track clothes and I'm not really wearing a lot of makeup, and I dashed on some lip gloss because we're at the last bit of this. We're at the last bit where we get to celebrate the amazing Black talent coming out of the UK. And so make sure that you stay tuned, stay on board. If you want to buy a ticket, make sure you buy it before Friday, before they all sell out. And we are still going to be back, though, next week. I don't remember the topic for next week right now. Please forgive me. I've just come in from the run. But I know it will be, even though it may be another topic, it will be just as amazing because we go deep into business. We don't just kind of talk about the surface. We talk about getting over challenges. How do you start out? And the same themes are coming up. So please tune in next week. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And have a fantastic night.
You too.
Good night.